Welcome to Cardiff Theosophical Society. I'm Dave Marsland. Well, here's a question for you. If we've all lived past lives, why can't we remember them? We're often asked this at the Theosophical Society in Cardiff, and I'm going to see if I can answer. I'll do my best. I'll see if I can answer it. I'm going to look at two areas. One is what we're actually remembering and what we're actually remembering with, and also what would be the consequences of successive lives that you could remember, and that if being reborn was like waking up the next day. Okay, I'll start with remembering. From a purely scientific point of view, you could say that when the physical brain dies, the memory dies with it. Theosophists, though, normally maintain that consciousness is not exclusively the preserve of the physical brain. And there are a number of theories as to how memory can travel through from one life to another, but the one I favour is based on the past life review. Now, Theosophy maintains that at the end of your physical life, at the point of death, you have a review, and this is a very honest review of the life that you've lived. And this review is then stored, or not perhaps stored, retained by the immortal principles. Part of you dies, physical body dies, and personality dies. But this review is retained by the higher principles, or what we term in Theosophy the reincarnating ego, or the causal body, the part that carries on to another life. And when you're actually remembering a past life, and this would possibly be under hypnotic regression, or perhaps some people remember past lives anyway, you're actually recalling this review of your past life, or reviews of many lives in some instances, and it's a little bit like watching a film. You're watching a film, but you're not actually watching the real event, so you're probably not remembering the past life directly. You're remembering this review. And anyway, that's an idea for consideration as to how memory comes through to the next life. Some people can remember their past lives, but for most of us, we'd need something like hypnotic regression or inner work. The other thing I'd like to mention is what would be the consequences of being born, and it'd be like waking up the next morning and you remember your past life like yesterday. Well, the first thing is you wouldn't learn anything. You'd be just carrying on. With the cycle of death and rebirth, you're living successive lives, and each time you're learning something. Now, if you woke up the next day or in the next life, you might just pick up where you left off. If you left a life that had been very successful, you might just repeat the same life again, and you could lock yourself into a cycle of eternal recurrence, in which you just live the same life over and over again because it was comfortable and successful, and make no spiritual progress. That's something to think about. And it is possible that some people do benefit from experiencing previous lives and actually use that experience again, but don't make the spiritual progress. One opportunity, of course, and I'm sure reincarnationists may have thought of this one, is to put a load of money into a Swiss bank account and come round and access it next time round. Big possibility there. Anyway, I hope that gives some insight into past life recall and the reasons why we don't remember our past lives. It's a question often been asked here at the Theosophical Society in Cardiff by inquirers. Anyway, thank you for watching.